the twin demons of Fairy Tail. So before I begin, let me just point out that this video is based on a theory from my boy Senpai Fruit, where he talked about Grey potentially having a demon seed. Alright, with that said, let's jump straight into today's video. Those who are caught up with the manga will know that the true dragon slayers, meaning the ones that aren't second generation, actually have what's known as a dragon seed within their body. This is the reason why dragon slayers back in the day actually ended up transforming into dragons. So who's to say god slayers or devil slayers are any different? I'll be homing in on devil slayers because of Grey and e.n.d's encounter, where e.n.d more or less said that devil slayers have a growing darkness inside of them, which grows the more they utilize their magic as a devil slayer, and so it raised the question if this darkness may actually be another way to phrase what e.n.d decided to name the demon seed. If this is true, this means that Grey may actually be able to turn into a demon at some point, the very thing he swore to destroy. But it doesn't end there, of course, because we also know that Natsu is a demon. That's confirmed, his demonic nature just hasn't blossomed yet. In this sense, Grey and Natsu are in the same boat. They're both actually human, or at least mostly human at this point, but with Natsu's current situation, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see e.n.d very soon. Now, I'm going to go away from Natsu and Grey just for a moment to talk about two other guys. These two guys are actually Sting and Rogue from Sabertooth. Now, these two are not demonic, but they are called the twin dragons. We know they're not twins, nor are they actual dragons. They are called twin dragons because they both utilize similar magic with different elements that matches perfectly. These elements are light and darkness, or white and shadow, whatever you want to call it. So if we then go back to Natsu and Grey, and I think you can see where I'm going with this, but if not, then I think that Natsu and Grey may actually end up in a similar situation to Sting and Rogue. What I mean by this is that if Grey actually turns into a demon, or at least undergoes a mid-stage of some sort, to the point where it's hard to tell whether he's leaning towards human or demon, and Natsu actually turning into e.n.d, or again maybe some kind of halfway transformation to the point where you can't really tell what he is anymore. Either it's Natsu or it's e.n.d. We might have what I personally want to call the twin demons of Fairy Tail. So if you put the twin dragons and the twin demons next to each other for comparison, there are a few things we can see from this. First of all, and this is of course the biggest similarity, and that's the fact that they of course are really good friends who know each other's magic really well, meaning they can fight in perfect sync if they actually want to. Another thing is the personalities of these duos. They're not completely identical, but generally you're going to see Natsu as the high spirit one and Grey not so much, with exceptions of course. And this also goes for Sting and Rogue. We have seen Rogue being really like gloomy and shit, but at times he can be a bit, comedic. The last comparison I want to bring up before wrapping things up is a major one, but something many may not think about, and that's the element of their magics. As I said before, Sting and Rogue uses light and darkness, or white and shadow. These are basically polar opposites of each other. If you then look at Grey and Natsu, you've got the exact same thing, fire and ice. These are also polar opposites, at least in Fairy Tail it is. I mean, one might argue that fire is just a plain superior element, but say that to e.n.d, who throws Natsu's flames. Okay, so I'll be wrapping things up here. Let me know what you think about this little theory or discussion topic on Grey turning into a demon, and through that he and Natsu becoming Fairy Tail's version of Sabertooth's twin dragons. And if you did, please like this video and subscribe if you're new. Bye.